Good morning, everybody. Welcome to pre-market update. Happy Friday. Hope you all had a great trading week so far. So we'll start with crypto, Bitcoin, and Ethereum. We'll review all the major indices, including S&P 500, cycle analysis, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, and at the end we'll wrap up with commodities. Please hit the like button, guys. Only takes 1 second to hit the thumbs up button and share this channel with friends and family. I really appreciate that. All right, so Bitcoin daily chart. This could be a massive flag. If I go to weekly, um, you can see could be like a flag here on a weekly. I don't want to speculate, but this is also a possibility. Oops, let me got the right indicator. Here you go. This could be like a flag like this, right? And if this thing breaks out, uh, the distance of usually the flag when you get a breakout from here, I guess we can be a bit conservative if you want to be a bit conservative. From here, whenever that flag breaks out, it's going to be around 85, 86K. That's quite possible by the end of the years. Okay, so just want to make sure you guys are aware of this. And but we don't have a breakout yet. And if I go to daily chart, let me get rid of this indicator. I guess this is a support trend line, so you can leave it there. So on daily chart, when I zoom in, see what's happening on PPO. Green line is above red line. This is the first confirmation. We got a green dot on RSI. Also, we had a buy signal here by this AI indicator. So everything is pointing towards buy. And if I go to 1 hour chart, also I said yesterday, you can draw a trend line like this, right? And you can see we had a breakout here. Okay, breakout here, and now we're going higher. Price was going lower on divergence on PPO and RSI. What that means is RSI is going higher, PPO is going higher, price is going lower, and then we had to wait for a breakout, and we got that. So Bitcoin is breaking out, and we got a buy signal on all our indicators, which is suggesting it's a good time to buy the dip. And from here, there's a resistance here, which is around 60K. You can see all these EMA lines are coming. But I think it's gonna go from here to this next resistance around 68, 69K, around 19% pump from here. All right, that's my target. I think it's gonna go at least touch this trend line and then maybe consolidate here. In my opinion, this is gonna go like this, go here, just stay here for a while, maybe a couple of weeks, and then eventually break out. I think this is quite possible, so keep that in mind. On BTC futures, there's a gap here around 62K. 100% gap fill will happen. So I think we're gonna get a massive candle maybe over the weekend. Who knows when? 7% away to fill this gap. All right. And on Ethereum, there are gaps around 2500, gaps around 3000, gaps around 3950. So let's do one thing at a time. This first gap will be filled around 8% away when Bitcoin hits. Where did it go? BTC hits and fill this gap around 62K. I think Ethereum will fill this gap, and the next gap is here around 3000. So from here, I think Ethereum can go fill these two gaps at minimum around 26, 27% possibility of this gap for Ethereum to fill. So keep that in mind. And on Ethereum live market, you can also see same thing here. You can see green line is crossing red line, which is good news. We got a green buy signal dot here, so even Ethereum is giving a buy signal as well. But overall trend, keep in mind Bitcoin, I think it's getting ready for a massive bounce. So do not be super short here. And at the end, if you want to see levels for Bitcoin here, you can see these are the levels for today. You can see we went from buy zone to the sell zone. Easy trades here, buy zone to the sell zone. Around 5.27% you could have sold there. And now we are again sitting in neutral zone, so we have to wait for it to go back to buy zone 57K to buy again for a pump. This is for day trading only. And if you want to know more about this indicator, click the join button, guys, in the description of my video. Join my channel. I share these levels every hour with my subscriber. Let me know your user ID. So as soon as you join your YouTube ID, put a comment in the video description. I will move you to Discord only channel. Okay, so it's very important. If you subscribe, give me your YouTube ID, and I will move you to your Discord only members group. All right, and on Ethereum. Same thing here, buy zone to the bounce. You can see buy zone here to the bounce here, almost 5% pump, and now we are again in the neutral zone. All right, so hopefully this is helpful. And if you're only here for crypto, hit the like button on your way out, and I'll see you next week. All right, so S&P 500 now. Let's move to traditional market. S&P 500 short term, it's in the sell zone. All right, so if you're in profit, look to take profit. Wait for it to drop back to the buy zone. Short term, it's there, and cycle analysis is telling me that we have higher prices. So you have to take into consideration both cycle analysis, which is long-term daily chart, as well as the short-term day trading chart, which I showed you. So the reason I'm saying we are in this rising phase, okay? This rising phase started ending somewhere around end of September. So where we are right now, which is around mid of September, we have a couple of weeks at least for this rising phase to go. So I think it's going to go fill these two gaps. There's a gap around 56.20, then there's a gap around here 5700. So these two gaps will be filled for sure, and it's probably going to make a new all-time high. So I won't be shorting this market. I'll wait for it to keep going higher. Couple of weeks of rising phase will probably take it to new all-time high. So keep that in mind. All right. And when we do side-by-side comparison on S&P 500 MES live futures, and here's the it's in the sell zone short term, so do not look too short here. Nasdaq is flat, but sorry, now a little bit lower than the sell zone, so it could go a little lower as well. There's a support around 19351, and it can still go higher. All right, so uh, and on triple Qs, if I go here, you can see massive breakout candle yesterday. Price above all moving averages, which is extremely bullish. All right, so it's above all moving averages. So next target is this gap fill. So from here, I think when S&P 500 makes a new high, it's going to go fill this gap around 4.72%. You can see this gap down this day with an engulfing candle. I think that's going to be all filled, and we're going towards new all-time highs. Um, Dow Jones DIA ETF, again, no gaps here. This is a minor gap, we can ignore it for now. This massive gap is filled day before yesterday, and now we are going towards new all-time high. Same thing with IWM. There was a gap, they filled it, 7 count SPY signal. Price is already above pre-market, so I think it's going to try to now break out of this resistance, go close above that, and then go towards new all-time high. All right, Toronto Stock Exchange already made a new high. Some divergences, but green line is above red line, so everything is good. Trying to go higher here. Hang Seng Index, China, little weaker. This gap here around yellow line. So probably let's see. Let's go back to hourly chart, see if this gap is, yeah, this gap is full. So let me delete this gap. So there is no gap there. Okay, so it's right in front of multiple resistance. You can see massive resistance here. All these EMA lines really need to break out to be bullish again. Tesla, you can see here in front of massive trend line, resistance trend line, and it closed couple of days now above this. All right, so which is good news for the bulls. So I think it's probably going to go higher to fill this earnings gap around 246. So from where we are right now, it's probably going to go higher 7% at least to fill this gap. Apple is also trying to hold after a couple of bad news, looking for this gap fill around 234. Amazon is also looking very bullish, already filled earnings gap. All right, now going towards this next gap fill around 193. Netflix already made a new all-time high before, now going higher, I guess. So we'll see. There's some divergence on PP on RSI. You can see it's making lower highs, RSI making lower highs, price making higher highs. But this could also be a flag. All right, this could also be a flag and can break out. Google is the best trade in my opinion out of all, because even if it had a gap up, so I have a gap here, you can see gap up yesterday, so probably they're going to fill it at some point. But if you can hold for long term from here to the top gap, which is 100% going to be filled, around 19% still away. All right, now one thing to note, I don't have divergence, but I have this green buy signal here. Ideally I would like it to go fill this gap at some point and then go high or make a new low. That way I will have divergences on RSI and PPO, but it doesn't need to happen. Meta is also looking good. Again, gap up. If it fills this gap, look to buy for a bounce after. Microsoft also price above all moving averages, looking very healthy. Next two gaps are here on the yellow, and Snowflake's made a new low with divergence on RSI and PPO. So we need to wait for Snowflakes to break out. You can draw a channel like this, or maybe we'll draw something like this. Um, Not a clean channel. You have to wait for it to break out. NVDA, nice moves from last couple of days. Next target is here, 125. There was a gap fill around 116. They filled it, and now going higher to fill this next gap around 125. And let's see what happens after that. AVGO recovery, very fast recovery after massive, actually bad earnings, good earnings but lower guidance, and they just next 3 days they just picked it up. So looks like it wants to go higher to new all-time high price above all moving averages. Gold, new highs. All right, gold already made a new high. One thing to note is divergence on PPO and RSI. You can see here massive divergence here, and again here massive divergence here, and prices keep going higher. So just be careful. Divergences are telling me gold will eventually come down. You can see massive resistances here. Silver above all moving averages, recovering fast now. Gold already made new high. Silver is behind, so trying to catch up. Copper is also gonna eventually in front of resistance, gonna break. This is where it's just holding. Okay, I think this is where it will try to break out. Price made a new low with divergence on RSI, no divergence on PPO, but a massive breakout could be coming. Crude oil recovering. Yesterday I said it could go here. Probably it's gonna go back test this breakout. I mean breakdown. So it's gonna go higher around 72 bucks, and then there will be resistance. Natural gas above all moving averages looking very bullish, trying to go towards this next gap will probably going to be around 3.5. Palladium also looking very bullish. You can see just kept going down. Finally a candle above all moving averages, so looking very nice here. So it means again in front of a little bit of resistance. Next target is here, $1,000. Sugar is also new lows with divergence on PP and RSI. Price above all moving averages. It's gonna go here. Next resistance around 20.6. Wheat, again, wheat is breaking out, and next it really needs to close above these 572, 571 level. This is where 200 EM and SMA are coming. Need a massive breakout here. Corn, same thing here. Above all moving averages price, and the next target will be here around 450. Dollar is still in the support box. Now, if Fed lowers, which we know for sure, depending on how much they lower, dollar can further go down. So keep that in mind. And at the end, let's wrap up with VIX. VIX crushing. I'm looking for VIX to go below 15. There was a gap I showed yesterday. Looking for that to fill. And the reason is SPX is in a rising phase. That will go, let VIX go even further down. Could be coming into 13 bucks as well. Okay, guys, that's it. And for the levels, I'll share with my subscribers these levels. And if you want any particular stock for me to review, um, just join my Discord channel and I'll review there. But guys, have a good trading day. Bye.